Live.
GuardianCast, episode 25. Guys, I would just like to take a second to celebrate something.
Yeah.
This is like the first podcast in like 5 podcasts that Huffy is here on time. So let's just give him a round of applause.
He was here early.
He's not coming in the middle of the podcast. He's here.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Work has been crazy, yo.
I know.
At a
I
nondescript
just had to give you shit.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Music and Fridays, they tend to overlap. Like,
Yeah.
It's weird.
Music
Weird.
and like anything important in life tends to overlap, you know?
Yeah.
That's the truth. But so we had some stuff happen this week, guys. Some things.
Big stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
How are you
Really?
guys liking the Solstice of Heroes? Just overall impressions without getting into specifics.
Overall impressions is very, very good. I was very positive. You know, when I first thought it for myself, like I was like, well, they're asking us to do a bunch of stuff we've been doing since October, and it was like, well, I don't like. It's like that's dumb because I thought in my mind I thought it was gonna be like a world event like akin to like something like the Gates of Anchorage would be really cool to where it like bleeds into the storyline of the next expansion.
There you go, setting your expectations high for Bungie, huh?
Right here. Right here.
At least 4 times a Guardian cast, EXO was like, but if it was like, wow.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's playing Destiny.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. No, listen. So, you know, and then it kind of just hit me. I was like, you know, like this is really just a celebration for what Destiny was in year one. Like
Yep.
the first, like Destiny 2 was in year one. So of course they're gonna ask you to do the raids, or they're gonna ask you to do like some PvP and some strikes and things like that. It's very varied. It's varied. It's all over the map. You don't have to do too much of one thing. You can grind a little bit. You can go off to the side and kind of focus on like one of the other pieces, like whether or not you're in green armor or blue armor. But I'm having a good time. It's good. It's good with knowing that what it is what it is, and not like, you know, it's good for what it is.
I feel like Solstice of Heroes to me is not like an event.
Right.
It's not like prep for the new expansion.
No.
I feel like they just finally like hot fixed the loot pool. I feel like this, like it's all the same stuff that we've been doing for the same 3 months, except finally there's a reason to do it. Like there's a reason to do the raid. There's a reason to do the prestige mode. It's just like,
yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
like the loot that
The
we're
400
just like
loot.
finally getting loot for doing stuff. And it's a really cool set of armor, and it's like 400 whatever, and it has like I love the gear. I love it. Looks like crap until you put shaders on it, but then you put shaders on it, and then you can change like the chroma on it, and the chromas don't get consumed. Like that's how armor should be. 10 out of 10. Not a 10 out of 10. Not a waste of time. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's great.
I also am really enjoying it. I'd like to say, like, to EXO's sentiment, I think maybe it was just a little bit of a failure in communication. The way Bungie marketed it as Solstice of Heroes, sort of like an event similar to faction rallies or something, like it was going to be something new. I think it would have been better to say, hey guys, we revamped the yearly triumphs and made them better. Because that's what they did, essentially, right? This is all part of the yearly triumphs. And it's way more than we've like really done, except arguably in the Age of Triumphs when they redid the raids. But like the year 1 and year 2 triumphs in Destiny 1 were similar to this, but they didn't have the revamped missions and all that.
Yeah.
And the new armor. So I think this is an improvement on yearly triumphs rather than being like an event. You know, I guess it is an event, but it's weird how they separated it. They were like, hey guys, year 1 triumphs are here, and then there's this Solstice of Hero things we're not talking about. But it's really, it's part of it.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's part of the same thing, but it's kind of separate. And Like
Yeah.
it's in addition to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
The separation is that you have to press I to get there.
Well, you have to go to the tower for half of it, and the other half of it you can do out in the wild.
Yeah, well, so let's talk about like the first thing, like when it takes you like to the old tower. That was pretty cool. Like it was.
It actually doesn't take you to the old tower. It takes you down to Earth, down like the city below the tower, and you can see the tower from back where they have the fireworks on. Which like why aren't we down there instead if it's safer?
Actually, it's like the keto tower where you can't have Diet Pepsi.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. The tower thing threw me. I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
I would almost rather that not be there because you're there for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And it sets a wildly high expectation for the rest of Solstice of Heroes.
Yeah.
Like you jump in, you're in this like new beautiful space, the coolest part of Destiny that you've seen so far, and then it's like, oh, go do patrols.
You never see it again. You literally never see it again.
You never see it. Go do patrols.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you know.
It's like we're gonna send you down in Earth because there's some mucking around going on. Like have that
some
whole,
mucking around going on.
There's these kids. They're on the lawn.
Whippersnappers out there. But so like the 5 Redux missions, the first thing that you should be doing when you start this event. I think they're really well done. Like I had a blast doing them. I recommend to anybody who enjoys this game and wants a challenge that you go in and the first time you do them, you should do them solo because they are hard. Like and you will find it a little bit frustrating, but it a lot of people are saying this. I don't really want to like steal this, but I do echo the sentiment that it feels a lot like old school Halo. You know, like you're gonna die a lot. Like I think on the one mission, 1AU, I died like 19 times trying to get through it.
So the sun part.
Yeah, the sun part.
I saw on Reddit where someone said that they wanted to that like this made them think that they wanted to have like that this game could have a legendary style campaign a la Halo.
Yeah, dude.
It should.
I was doing it with a friend who just downloaded D2 for PC 2 days ago. We've been running through the campaign.
And he'll be 400 in like a week.
Yeah, he'll be 400 tomorrow. What he was saying, he was like, "Wow, this is like legendary. Like you just have this is like legendary Halo. Like one of us needs to just like stay back, so when the other one dies, we don't like." It's like, yeah, that's what it is.
That is true.
Except
and if you
it pushes you forward.
If you did legendary Halo solo, like sometimes it was just completely unfair. Like you would walk around the corner and like one of the grunts would just snipe you in the face. You're like,
dude,
okay.
No, that's how it is right here too. Like I was doing the mission with the tank, and like I put the tank cover for like 2 seconds, and there's just like 3 interceptors there waiting, and they all just shot me in the face.
Yeah.
It's like, what? How do you react to that? Little aimbot interceptor, wallhack Scion mother flippers.
Well, what I learned was like, so on the 1AU mission in the sun, at first I was like, this is impossible. There is way too many ads, like, and there's no cover. And then what I realized is basically like you can outsmart it by going down, making them spawn in, coming back to cover, shooting things down, and then slowly progressing up. Like once you perfect the way to progress through it, it makes a lot more sense. The first time you do it though, you're just like, this is unachievable. Like what the heck were they thinking, you know?
And then you see a path.
Yeah.
You have to like actually forge a path through something instead of just literally holding forward, taking no cover with an SMG and punching things in the face.
Exactly.
Which people asked for. Listen, I'm gonna get on a soapbox for a second. The Destiny campaign.
Yeah.
I thought Destiny PvE when it first came out was like specifically the way which strikes was it that came out?
In Destiny 1?
No. I'm trying to remember back.
The heroic strikes?
There was a point where we were less powerful in PvE.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really solid. Then everyone's like, make us strong again. Make us strong again. But you had to like team shot ads and stuff. When did we get that weapon buff? Was that for Curse or was that for Warmind?
The Go Fast update.
Curse.
Yeah, the Go Fast update.
I think it was Curse. Originally, I thought the PvE was really challenging and fun. then they had this huge update where all the weapons did like 30% more damage.
I don't know about that. Like in the very beginning, you know, the campaign was easy from launch. The campaign was never
the
ever
campaign
hard.
was easy, but the
Well,
strikes
like,
at some point, I can't remember.
It's always been the way that they attribute the item level or the power level of you versus your enemies. So they reduce your power level, and
Right.
that's how they manage it.
But like what you're talking about, Huffy, they made certain weapons more effective. Like there was just bad weapons in PvE. Like you wouldn't have wanted to use an SMG at launch.
Rifle.
So like they made those more effective in PvE, but I don't think that was a bad change. I think this is the first time I've seen challenging like solo PvE content, you know.
But the problem with this is it's not like it's only challenging solo.
Yeah, and it's only for intrinsic worth.
And it's only for intrinsic worth. I really liked the point where like when Nightfall like scaling or whatever first came out, like how difficult that was.
Yeah.
Like that felt really great.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just want like nasty hard PvP.
PvE, you mean?
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been up since 3.
It's all good.
I want like incredibly difficult PvE content.
Yeah, same.
Like Spire of Stars all the time. Like
wait. But let me add a clarifier to that. Spire of Stars, but with a reason to actually do it, please. Let me go off on a side tangent here for a second. I did Spire of Stars for the first time yesterday. So I did Spire of Stars and Eater of Worlds.
It's still fun.
It took 8 hours. 8 hours of raiding.
Well,
in total, yeah.
Like in total,
Yeah, between the 2 raids.
Yeah.
And so the worst part about it was knowing from the beginning that I had like literally nothing to gain. I mean, I got a 400 sword from Eater of Worlds, so that's good. But
dude, hey,
yeah, everything else though, I got basically nothing for the whole experience. I just wanted to check the box for these triumphs or whatever, but. I would love to like beat my head against a wall on raids like that if at the end of it I was like, yes, I got this awesome thing that like not a lot of people have, you know, but that's not the case right now.
Are you gonna get this shirt?
Nah, I'm not gonna get the shirt. I am gonna try and get that ship.
You don't want to wear the shirt at GuardianCon next year?
Nah, I'll get like at the end of Destiny 2, I'll get the shirt. I don't want to get it every year.
It's like $30, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's white. I don't know. I'm not really into white shirts too much.
I mean, you can tie-dye it, though.
Yeah.
You get that shirt, and then you tie-dye it.
So speaking of that, though, the Triumphs, we had lodged a complaint that originally they were only on the website to track. They're in the game now for this event, so that's an improvement.
Yeah.
I think this is another, just goes back to that communication thing where it's like they marketed this as something different, and we like never would have complained about that if they would have just been like, yeah, the Triumphs will be in the game once Solstice of Heroes launched. That wouldn't have been a spoiler. That's all they had to say, you know? Like
they literally said like, yeah, we're updating the AI for this stuff in Forsaken.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I do have to complain about like the AWSD like
on the
scrolling
tank.
Through the vendors and like AI though.
Oh
stuff.
yes, the menus.
I had somebody.
So many people missed that. Yeah.
Come into chat today, and I was like looking at Zavala, and they were like, "Hey, yo, buy a boon," and I'm like, "He doesn't sell boons anymore." They were like, "Press D."
Yeah. Well, also on for the bounties too, or for these triumphs, there's like a whole nother page of like a lot of people didn't know to pick up the gold ones that are on the next page. Like, I don't know why they did that. You know, I guess something about the formatting of it, but there looks like there's plenty of room.
It was the same reason, man. For Xur, they couldn't like they had to like issue like a game revamp.
Yeah.
Like. To like add an extra slot for Xur, like it had to come with an expansion.
Yeah. So the rewards for doing these triumphs, and they look like bounties pretty much, is a ghost, an emblem, a T-shirt, and a ship. The ship you actually have to get 3 full sets.
All 3 of them, yeah.
On all of your characters. Do you need Masterworks or just Legendary?
No, just the Legendaries.
Okay, cool.
that's not terrible, but
Yeah.
that's pretty terrible.
I mean,
The
it's a
ship kinda
vanity
looks like
item,
that.
though. You know, like,
Yeah,
so
yeah, I'm into it. I wish the ship was like.
cooler looking.
It kind of looks like a pencil. Remember? Oh, there was some like creepy.
It's not the
like,
Taken ship. It's not the Taken ship from the Whisper quest that people
No.
are seeing in the wilds today.
What is that?
You basically you do it for 3 weeks in a row, and you
Mhm.
unlock the ship
For the
from
Whisper of the Worm, yeah.
the Whisper of the Worm quest.
Wait, you just have to do the whisper.
3 times in a yep.
3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks in a row.
Is the ship look cool?
Yeah, it's like all Taken-y. It's like floating with Taken.
What is it
energy.
called, Exo?
Oh my god, I need
It's-
that.
It's called.
Wait, what? How is this? Wow, what a ship. that's really incredible.
Yeah, it's called
I
1,000
can't believe
Wings.
that you can ride that in Destiny.
1,000 Wings.
Oh, that is cool.
No, but the ship looks really awesome.
Yeah. I'm not going to put it on the screen. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but
Yeah, you need the blueprint. In order to get the blueprint, you have to do the hidden objectives in the heroic version, and then also kill the boss.
yeah. Oh yeah, so MT Taz mentioned in chat the Spark mission, really awesome when the servitors popped out into like a Russian
That
doll.
was crazy,
Yeah.
Bro.
When they had like kill the first
Yeah.
first time I went in there, I had two other members, and I was just like, guys, I know there's a servitor here. I'm just gonna go in there, and I'm just gonna blow him up, and just
Yeah.
whatever. And we killed him immediately, and then all of a sudden, like, it was like, bloop, 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 bloop.
Dude,
Like it's like filled up like a flubber or
yeah,
something. It
it's
was
so
crazy.
fun to do solo.
Yeah.
And I had on a sniper when I went in there, so
Nice.
That's
it did not
awesome.
feel good. It felt like Recked. I was just like no scope meleeing all the servitors like, running around.
So yeah, there's 3 sets of armor per character. You go through green, blue, and then you get your legendary, and then you have an option to masterwork it.
Right.
One thing I find kind of strange is so the masterworks, you're not just adding masterwork cores, you're doing like another set of objectives, but it literally doesn't do anything different than regular masterworked armor. I feel like that's a little bit of a missed opportunity because like if you're gonna do more work to masterwork it, it should do something unique, in my opinion, not just damage resistance during a super. That's kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, it just was like not worth it.
yeah.
Especially since you're already 405, like you're resisting a lot of damage,
Yeah.
a lot more damage in your super than you would have been.
And like as a hunter, I'm gonna be running either Celestial Nighthawk or Tether. I mean, like how long is it gonna last? Just like while I'm in my super in PvE.
Yeah, it's literally just for if you want to use that like in PvP, I guess,
Which
and look cool.
yeah.
Which
Which you're not
is-
going to, because it's not like you're gonna have 2 sets. You need one for PvE. You know, like if I mean, otherwise, I don't know why you tried to get to 400.
yeah.
That's just kind of a. They should have just made it do something interesting, in my opinion. But you know, that's a small
Yeah.
thing. The event's still cool. So you get these unique
What?
glows. What?
Mm-hmm. Yep, the glows are sweet.
Never mind.
Okay.
I'm not
Uh,
gonna ask that question.
You get these unique glows. They're pretty cool. There's
They're
one.
great.
Like I don't like. What was the question?
No, we're good.
All right.
Alright.
You get one for each element. You get a void
Yeah.
one, an arc one, and a solar one. You have to get them from Eververse, but they're bright dust. So I had like all this bright dust laying around. I just bought them all. Like it wasn't too big of a deal. I didn't spend any money.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't spend any.
It lasts forever.
Yeah.
You can use them again. It's
It lasts
perfect.
forever
Great.
on this solstice armor.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm noticing though? They're pretty expensive. Like if you haven't been playing from the beginning, you probably didn't
Yeah.
have enough bright dust to get them all. And
it
it-
definitely is.
I'm almost wondering if I got bamboozled because like they're 1,000 each, you know, and then you need 5 pieces for each set, so it's like basically 5,000 each.
It's a lot.
The
It's
thing
like
about the solstice
15,000.
engrams, though, is they changed the way the loot pool works with the solstice engrams. So when you actually do get something from the Solstice Engram, you're guaranteed to get something that's on a knockout. And so I bought them as well, knowing that every single engram is going to give me something that's on the knockout, and then I'm just going to fill my list out quicker, and then I'm just going to dismantle all the duplicates and probably get my Bright Dust back.
But so what I was going to say is, like, the Bright Dust, I'm almost wondering if, like, they're going to offer something really cool in Forsaken and be like, aha, you guys wasted all your Bright Dust on the, now you got to give us money. You know,
I hope they just redo tests, man.
I don't think they're going to.
They're not going to.
Yeah. Yeah. So there is one downside to these glows. If you're not wearing the subclass that corresponds, it doesn't glow as bright.
I think that is a plus.
It seems like an oversight, though.
I think, Huffy, that it should automatically change to the color of whatever.
No, I disagree, because
I don't like having to manually change it.
The version looks cooler.
Oh,
so
no.
I want to run the solar faint version, like, while I'm running Arcstride.
All right. Well, you're the one person who's happy with this system.
Well, so why don't you have the option of like just picking faint or full glow? Like
that would be cool.
Why instead
of
that?
But then that
like,
system wouldn't need to exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was applying shaders yesterday, and I was clicking on a shader, and I was like, that looks cool. So like the preview window, I'm like, why can't I just apply them from here and apply them to all my gear and not have to click through each and every single piece of gear and do like that's kind of silly.
Yeah.
Focus mentioned that you can, so something else that's on the second page that a lot of people are missing is that you can buy a second set of armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't infuse it to anything now.
2 sets.
You can have 3 sets if you wanted it.
You can have 17. You have a PvE set, a PvP set, and a
well, you wouldn't want a PvE set if you're doing raids.
On a Gambit set.
A Gambit set.
So one cool thing, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to use this feature, but the community requested, like, can we get ornaments to make the armor look like the tattered green and the blue? And they added it somehow. I don't know how they did that so fast.
What?
Yeah, there's ornaments now. When you like get to the legendary set, you can make it look like the green or blue set with an ornament if you want to.
Yeah.
You're telling me.
Yep.
That over the span of a couple of days, Bungie made.
That's why it makes no sense.
It was at launch. So you get the green set, you get the blue set, then you get the purple set, and then the purple set allows you to not only shade it and oh, by the way, don't use your shaders if you're upgrading from green to blue or from blue to purple, because you'll lose the shaders.
Yeah.
But at launch, as soon as you got the purple, you had the ability to change the ornament to make it look like the blue set that you just were wearing or the green set that was tattered and disgusting.
But
I don't know why that's the thing. I don't know who would want. I mean, I guess the hunter cape kind of looks cool in the.
I think the way that what it should look like is not the Scorch set, but it should look like the first set. Not
hold on, Exo. You're saying it was in there since launch.
Yeah, it was there. It was there day one.
I'm looking at Damage's tweet here, right? And so he says, this is his tweet. It says, quote, Bungie, please make the damaged armor from Destiny 2 campaign available for infusion. Oh, okay. So they weren't responding to feedback from this. They were just responding to, like, people wished that white armor was infusible, and they put it into this event. I got it.
Well, I'd like the
I misread that. I thought it was like in 2 days they suddenly like responded to feedback somehow.
Yeah. I wanted it to be the not scorched version, but like the regular version. That would have been a lot cooler looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay. So that's pretty much it for the armor and the stuff in the Solstice. You guys have anything else you want to talk about with the Solstice of Heroes?
Solstice
the Heroes of the Storm.
Done with my Solstice of the Heroes of the Storm of the Heroes.
Yeah.
No, I'm done with my Warlock. I'm done with my Hunter. I need to start my Titan. I don't even have the green gear yet for my Titan. So, week 1, almost all done.
I want to talk about these statistics.
How many characters do you have done, Exo, for your
like I haven't masterworked any of them yet, except for one of them.
Okay.
Like one piece of it, but I have my hunter to 405 and I have my warlock to 405.
Nice.
I want to talk about these tally marks really quick.
On the TWAB,
Yeah.
Tally marks?
Yeah.
Statistics.
I'm
pretty sad about it.
Why?
I feel like I don't know, I feel like a nerd, dude. There's just so many more hunters than there are anything else. And I thought that they were like, I thought that Warlock was like the go-to. I didn't know that I was in the majority, you know? I just feel like so less hipster than I used to, knowing that there are literally like at least
You've had
like four.
You've had a misconception about the data then, because hunters have been the most prevalent class since Destiny 1.
So on that, Baga
Destiny
had mentioned that his coworker said that there was only 180,000 people with the Whisper. Actually, there's 194,000 people with the Whisper.
I'm gonna have the Whisper in an hour, so.
Players with the Red Rick's Claymore is 8,700.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because
Probably because nobody wants it.
yeah, that's a good point. Like, they may be misreading that data. People are thinking, oh, it's so hard, but it's actually just like, why would I waste my time?
Shaders
cool
deleted 807 million.
What?
There's 807,635,124 shaders deleted.
Okay. I don't know why.
That's a lot of wasted time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that is a ton of wasted time.
Yeah, it'll be good in Gambit. Redrick's Claymore.
Will it?
I mean, theoretically.
What I find interesting, the more interesting thing for me, not is the PvE side of it, is that there are almost as many Spire of Stars kills as there are Eater of Worlds kills, and that came out 3 months later.
Oh, that makes sense.
There's 590 million Eater of Worlds kills, and there's 588 million. So only a difference of 2 million. Spire of Stars is like.
It must be more ads to kill in Spire of Stars, because look, there's way more.
I think like.
Oh, those are deaths.
They're talking about clears.
No, these are kills.
They have the deaths as well.
It says kills.
So I'm pretty sure they're talking about clears. So like 2 million people.
It's impossible because it says the normal raid clears are 6 million total with all of them, all three.
Oh, then it must be because it must be ads.
It's just kills,
stupid.
Yeah, it's just straight kills. Either way, like, more people have played Warmind than Curse.
Yeah, that's what Michael just said too.
Mm-hmm. Guys, 77 million waves of escalation protocol we've done. Oh.
Booyah says he uses macros to delete shaders. That's reported. Booyah.
Reported.
Reported.
Man, I reported you through Twitch too.
This is an inventory management game, and we are not going to have people taking shortcuts. Damn it.
No, this isn't a role playing game where people want to hold on to their gear. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, who said that long ago? There was somebody who did.
That this is not a role playing game.
Whoa, hello.
Hey, what happened?
We lost you, Huff.
Oh, I have no idea what's continued. Oh, hello.
Oh, there we go.
All right, we'll pretend it didn't happen.
Someone had said that they were like, this isn't a role playing game.
To what? What was that?
They said it was a collection game. I think I kind of remember what you're saying. They said this is a collection game or something.
It's not a collection game? Yeah.
Anyway, but let's talk about this weird thing that's happening. The week before September 4th, or I'm sorry, never mind. The armor and weapons that are coming forward into Forsaken. Everything's getting moved forward. It's infusible to current light, but there's some things we didn't know. So first of all, you won't be able to buy stuff from Shaxx, the Gunsmith, the Vanguard, Ikora, Trials of the Nine, Iron Banner, Arcade Stashes from year one. All that stuff is going to be wiped, and they're going to have a revamped inventory. Now, you'll still be able to infuse your stuff up to current light, your year one stuff, but you won't be able to reobtain a lot of it. I'm guessing only the planetary stuff you'll be able to reobtain.
The sentence up to current
but
light
it'll
is actually a
still be in
change
the collection.
because the infusion
Yes,
right now.
but if you're a new player, you can't get a lot of that stuff. Is what I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah.
The sentence infusible to current light though is actually a huge benefit because right now it doesn't like you have to infuse something to not current, like it won't be current light, it'll be below your light because you have to get something that's going to be below your light in order to get it up to your current light.
Yeah.
Or get a powerful engram
Right,
to infuse it into
because they're
So
getting rid of the mod system and all that. Yeah.
well, but that like they're saying that we're going to be able to infuse it up straight up to our current light. That's actually amazing.
Yeah. So there is yeah, because there's not the +5 mod thing that complicating it anymore.
Right.
But the something interesting that I found in this is that we've been asking ourselves, like, if Midnight Coup is coming forward, like, what is my incentive to use any of the new stuff? You know, like, if I can use a lot of this old stuff, I don't see why I would use new stuff. And people were saying random rolls. I mean, that's fair. But, like, something like Better Devils, for example, I don't see what you would want in a random roll to make Better Devils better than it is. Like, if you take the explosive rounds off of it, it sucks. So, like, it could get maybe a little better with the middle perk if, like, you got something different. But what we found here is that you're not going to be able to put the new mods in old weapons, is what it looks like. Because they say...
Yeah, yep.
They say that a small number of weapons you know and love will be updated to Year 2 standards. So a couple of them, not a lot of them. And it says featuring random rolls and the capacity to accept Year 2 weapon modifications. From that, we can extrapolate that the Year 1 weapons won't be able to accept that. So I don't think...
Except for a few.
Except for a few. But, like, I'm saying the majority of them won't be able to. So
what do you think those few are going to be?
Well, I think the Better Devils is one, because look at the pictures of the Better Devils in all those different colors that they threw there for no reason.
Yeah, they're not throwing away that... Wait. Did you just assume that gun's gender? That could also be... There's other guns.
There's like 5 or 6 other guns it could be, technically.
No,
right?
This is technically, this is how Luke Smith is making your 10th Better Devils interesting. Because look, there's 10 of them.
Oh my god.
As a final note, players who have...
I'm sure that is the joke that they were making by putting 10 different color Better Devils there. Just saying.
Again, we don't know that it's Better Devils.
Yeah, that's Better Devils, dude. If that's not Better Devils, that is like a shameless reskin. Usually they at least change the design a little bit.
Dude, have you seen they're all shameless reskins, dude.
Yeah, but they like usually keep the body, but like change the design on the side of the frame a little bit. This looks exactly the same.
Guys, we changed the trigger.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, dude. Or they change how shaders affect it. That's my least favorite kind of reskin.
Yeah, because look at the watermelon shader now.
Yeah, dude, if I could have, kill clip on the Better Devils. That's what I want.
Yes. Like, are they gonna if they're gonna Better Devils is gonna be one of them though. Like they have to have additive perks and not sub, because the only reason, like you said, the only reason why we use it though.
You're gonna be able to put a mod in it. That'll be the additive part.
I wonder if there will be an explosive rounds mod. I hope not.
Ugh.
No, there won't be. They said the mods affect how the gun, like what the gun does, not that, but like.
Well, if you can put Icarus on one, explosive rounds doesn't seem like that far of a.
Icarus is a passive perk, but I see what you're saying.
I doubt they'll have active perks on it though.
So yeah, you think it'll just be? I mean, you think it'll just be like stability and that like built-in stats? You're saying EXO and like the radar
no, I don't.
thing?
I think it's gonna be bigger than that.
Okay.
Well, what's bigger than that that's not explosive?
Right.
rounds?
Yeah, I think explosive rounds would fit that criteria then.
Like speeding up the well, didn't they say that we covered this last week, didn't we?
Yeah, they gave 3 examples, but we don't know everything.
That's true.
They said
Icarus is pretty intense, dude. Like Icarus.
They said Icarus, the tracker thing, yeah, where your radar comes back quicker, and then I don't remember what the third one was.
Those are all pretty serious.
Yeah, it's like almost like an exotic perk, to be honest. So I think it'll make a big difference. I think a lot of them will be more rare than others. I think you'll only be able to apply certain certain perks to certain weapons, and I swear to God, if Icarus can't be put on a sniper, I'm driving to Bungie and lodging a formal complaint.
Don't worry, man. Just wear the Celestial Knight helmet.
So yeah, that's all I wanted to mention about that. Is I think we will have reasons to use new stuff just because of the mod system alone, and random rolls. But your Midnight Coup will not be the king anymore. Would be my guess. Which I'm happy
I mean, either way, I'm going to use new
because
stuff.
the Midnight Coup isn't going to be able to have. But I'm betting that Midnight Coup comes forward in year 2.
It better not. It's a raid weapon, dude. That wouldn't make any sense.
Why wouldn't it?
Because
I'm betting that it comes forward. Dude. It makes total sense.
No, because they're not bringing that Leviathan raid up to current light. They said that.
Yeah, I understand that, but like they could put something like that in the gunsmith that's very, very, very similar to it, or has the same.
Well, then it's a different weapon. I mean.
Yeah, but is it really like the Whisper?
This is Destiny. Yeah, it is, because otherwise we have like 2 weapons. Don't so.
We only have 2 hand cannons.
Yeah.
There are only 2 hand cannons in the game.
Speaking of hand cannons, the sandbox reveal, guys. I'm gonna play this because it's only like 7 seconds, but
super excited. I'm gonna look at it too.
Yeah. Here we go. We got ourselves a shotgun and 1, 2, 3 tap hand cannon on the Better Devils.
I'm so excited.
So a couple things, like we still don't know everything we want to know about that because number 1, it's a Better Devil, so it's a 140. We don't know if the 150s are going to 3-tap. Also, he looks like he made 3 headshots, so if the 140s take 3 headshots, that's still not quite Destiny 1 levels, but that's just speculation. We really don't know if that's the case.
If the 140s take 3 headshots, hand cannons will be irrelevant.
Well,
that's kind of how I feel.
He's wearing the Icolo shotgun and the Whisper, so we know that the Whisper is going to stay in the heavy. We've known that for a while, and 3 headshots for the Better Devils.
I think the Icolos is going to shred in PvP, dude. That's going to be my day 1 weapon.
Do you guys think it's hard for me to tell, but do you guys think that that took 2 shots, or does he die in the first shot?
I think it took 3 shots, but I mean we have
no, yeah, it took 2 shots from the Icolos. I'm talking about the Icolos.
I mean, he was not very close.
He wasn't very close. He wasn't close though, and we don't know if he needed to do, like, it could just be a punch melee.
You're right.
A shotgun melee.
You're right. He did fire that pretty early.
Yeah, he fired it pretty early, and what's more than that, it's the Icolos, which is like a full auto shotty, so like blinking happens a lot, and like and also his FOV is not PC FOV. It's not 105.
Right.
So you're judging that from the perspective
and also Bungie employees aren't good at their own game. So
the other thing from this trailer, they didn't show the UI at all. They hid the UI, and I guess the reason is because they say right below this, catch a glimpse of the new user interface, and you'll catch a glimpse of the new user interface you'll employ to choose your weapon and modify it. So it looks like the UI itself is getting overhauled, and the heads-up display.
I think that they're just gonna. I think what they mean by that is just the interface for the weapon. I don't think there's gonna be a huge UI over. I think the overlay is gonna look the same. I think the user interface for like managing your inventory and your guns is gonna change.
So you think they're just hiding the HUD for like action shot purposes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or else they would not have said, unless they wouldn't have modified that, right? Catch a glimpse of the new user interface you'll employ to choose your weapon, not
modify it. Okay.
So it might be like the character sheet might change a little bit.
Yeah, the character sheet, and most definitely the stuff inside the character sheet. But I mean, there's no reason for the UI to change. It looks great.
Yeah, I like the UI. I kind of read into that, I guess, but.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it definitely implies that I think they're just going for the action shot.
Okay.
Uh,
That's
They're
all we
very
know
cryptic.
about the sandbox.
You're not wrong to do that either, because they've been very cryptic before, and we have to like decipher their meanings with like.
Yeah, but that's just straight up bad English. If they're like.
Yeah, but then
The way a
why put it
modifier
right
works.
underneath? Why put it right underneath there, right? I mean,
Well,
it's like
we have run into this before. You remember when they revamped Lost Sectors, and we had like this whole discussion about like, so wait, you get 5 stacks, and then you go in the Lost Sector, and like
Yeah.
you guys kind of thought like you stay in the Lost Sector till you die, and you just keep like farming it.
yeah.
But like, and I was like, yeah, I guess it does say that, but really it was what I thought it was. I just happened to be lucky in the way I read it. They weren't clear about it at all. And like the 5 stacks disappear. I mean, it's like you guys really like word this stuff strangely. I wonder if the people writing it really understand what they're talking about, or if they're just it's like whisper down the lane. Like the devs say, like, yeah, it's a lost sector. You're gonna go in there and do a thing. Go write it down, you know. And then they're like, okay, I don't really remember what they said.
I wonder how much damage has been able to actually play.
Handwritten notes or something.
Yeah, handwritten notes, dude. Freaking napkins. You got fountain pens.
The real developers develop the game in like a bar, and they write it down on the napkins, and then they hand them over to interns to write down the TWAB.
Dude, I would believe that Destiny was developed in a bar. That would be the most outlandish thing I've ever heard.
So, Booyah's saying that apparently there was a rocket that could have done damage.
Yeah, I looked at that too. Like we looked at that on my stream last night, and
dude, I got really scared. I thought you meant like a real life rocket, like somebody fired a rocket.
No, like he's saying like the 3-tap might not have done all the damage.
He hit. If you're looking where his position is, the position is kind of like
I see the rocket
where they shoot the rocket.
I'm going through frame by frame. I see it. It's like above his head. Yeah, no, it goes by him, dude. I don't think that did damage, but
yeah, no. Listen, here's the thing. It doesn't. If it's 3-tap to the head, it's irrelevant.
Right.
If it's 2 head to 1 body, we can use it.
I mean, it wouldn't make any sense. They literally put this together to show a 3-tap hand cannon. Yeah. If they came out and then they were like, "Just kidding, guys, you didn't notice the rocket, did you?" Like. People would not have it, you know.
Here's my problem. Like, is this a map we already have?
Yeah, this is on Shores of Time, isn't it?
Oh, okay. No. I was gonna say like the lane in this map like seems really long.
Is it not Shores of Time?
It's not Shores of Time, dude. This is not a map we have. That's a new map.
That lane he came from looks extremely long.
It's a new map.
Huh.
It's a new Nessus map for sure.
Yeah. So August 7th, we'll get to see more on that combat reveal.
I really wish that they'd add like a new map at your mom's house. Oh.
So in the 1 week meta,
you get a chuckle from Recked there.
Sympathy laughs.
Sympathy laughs are the way to go, man.
Sympathy laughs are the only kind of laughs to go for, right?
So August 28th, we talked about this last week. They are letting us preview the weapon slot changes before Forsaken comes out. There's some things you guys need to know, so listen carefully, because this is actually important. If there's things you want to test before Forsaken comes out, you need to know this information. The collections are disappearing, so don't expect to be able to pull exotic weapons out of your collections. This week, they will be completely unavailable. If you want to test any exotic weapons, be sure to have them pulled out of the collection before August 28th. So if you want to like test out Darcy and the new weapon slots or any of the weapons in there, just make sure you have them out, because otherwise you're going to have to wait till September 4th to get them.
But it's only the slots, not the TTKs, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it's just going to be a week of a literal crapshoot.
Yeah.
Like, the Crucible is going to feel like fun.
Yeah, but it's a week, so just have fun with it, you know? I mean,
Yeah, but I have all the weapons I have on me anyway.
I'm just saying, you're gonna be mad if people are talking about like something, and then you don't have it. I'm gonna pull all
I'm
of my
absolutely
exotics.
gonna be mad. I'm gonna be like, wait, what exotic?
Yeah, I'm gonna
be-
pull all my exotics as like just delete all of the legendaries you don't need. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be mad because I'm still gonna have to pick up heavy ammo to use my secondary slot.
No. No, that's not gonna be the case.
I'm gonna buy all the exotics and make sure I have inventory.
We don't know how the ammo economy is
Right.
working.
We don't know, but it will, like, this is going to be the full weapon slot changes before Forsaken. It's not.
Yeah, the weapon slot changes. They didn't say anything about the economy changes. What I'm saying is that in Crucible, they would literally have to either add new crates or we have infinite ammo in those guns. Like, there has to be.
Well, I think also, like, green ammo will drop out of Dead Guardians, too. I don't know.
That's an assumption.
Okay, but they're not going to put this system out there and then just not be able to use guns. That wouldn't make any sense at all.
I don't know, man.
So,
Listen,
what is the point of putting it out early? What? Yeah,
I don't think any of the exotics are changing though.
No, but you're going to be able to use them in a different
early.
slot, XO.
The only reason it's coming out early, it's like the same reason WoW does it. It's like literally just like the technicality of making sure like the systems works. Like in WoW,
you can't test and make sure the systems works if you
WoW's broken
no,
right
it's
now.
put no
not for
ammo
us
economy.
to tell if they're
WoW is broken
enjoyable.
right
It's
now.
for
absolutely broken
for
right
Bungie to see if they go in the game and the game does not crash.
I don't think so. Before the Taken King, they put out a sandbox change leading up to the Taken King before all the new weapons came in, and they're literally trying to mirror that with this.
I understand that, but it didn't change the ammo economy in the same way. It wasn't literally heavy moving to special.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying I wouldn't get your hopes up about being able to run around with a sniper in Crucible because they'd have to change the ammo economy.
And I think they're going to. I just don't think it would make any sense to put it out at all if they weren't.
I have experienced pre-patches like this.
They have it in the Gambit build, Huffy.
Multiple times.
They have. Yeah, but Gambit isn't. I'm talking about specifically Crucible.
Yeah, but I mean, there is a PvP aspect to that and the way it works, like how you get ammo and stuff.
Yeah, but Gambit is.
You don't have. What I'm saying is, you don't have to get purple bricks in Gambit for your sniper.
Yeah, for sure.
So
things drop green ammo.
Right.
That's a system that's built into Gambit.
Yeah, but I think that they're going to have that system live for this.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm not trying to be a dick, and I'm not trying to like yell you over this.
I think honestly it'll be okay because nine times out of 10, the type of pre-patches that we see like this are always beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
Like even like not even just like a little bit, just like have you tried this sniper in this slot? It's like wow, well like I'll try it now for sure.
Yeah.
Unless they pull the Jebaited on us again, where they're
very
like
rarely.
You remember we were like, oh, it's faction rallies next week in the patch, the revamped faction rallies, and then they were like, oh no, they're not this week. They're in the patch. But you remember?
But the one time out of 10, and it goes the other way. Right now, like that's what World of Warcraft feels like.
People are getting one shot in old raids in WoW, and I'm just saying, like that could be coming.
That's World of Warcraft right now. It's not good. Hey, I'm gonna go do Molten Core solo so I can go farm for a set of gear. Nope,
Wrecked
you're
by
not.
dots.
So
magic damage.
Just in summary, make sure you have anything that you want to test out in your vault. Don't depend on collections. That's all I wanted to. I just wanted to put a PSA out about that.
Yeah. Honestly, like
I'm worried.
Just hoard and you won't have that problem.
I mean, worst case scenario, if what you're saying happens, Huffy, I'm just not gonna play for that week. So
you don't want to play. If that happens,
right.
You won't want to play.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. If that happens, I'm just gonna play fart butt for 7 days.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about this Game Informer interview. I combed through it. I pulled the things I thought were important. There's some good things. There's some bad things. There was a lot of irrelevant things like that people could have nitpicked on because they gave a lot of non-answers. I'm not going to focus on that stuff. But I have like a lot of points I kind of want to go through here. So the number one thing that they mention is the Masterwork system's changing. Exo, you and I have talked about this before. Now it's going to be this system where it levels up the perk, the unique perk on it progressively. And I'm guessing it's going to be tied to kills. I mean, like either Vanguard kills or Crucible kills. I'm not really sure. We're going to have to see more specifics.
Giggs tweeted out about this with his inside source, this specific thing. Okay. He said the item that drops will drop with a random rerollable perk. You won't be able to reroll it. But you'll be able to level it up to 10 times, and at the 10th time it'll become Masterwork.
Oh, cool.
Wait, so you can re-roll stuff?
So
it's like the same perk but better, right?
Legendary armor will drop with an unrerollable perk. You won't be able to change it.
I didn't know we could re-roll legendary.
It's not re-rolling though.
Well, I think they're specifying the armor because they don't want people to get confused that the weapon have rerollable perks, but the armors don't.
Right.
No, what I'm saying is, can we re-roll something?
No, but the perk will become better.
Right. It's a better version of the perk, not a different
So
perk.
like let's say that one of them says, just as an example, it's like 1 recovery, and by the 10th it'll give you 10 recovery. That's the kind of like.
I'm just asking, what is the purpose of saying unrerollable if you can't re-roll?
You can't.
It's not re-rollable.
I'm saying, but are weapons re-rollable?
Right.
No.
Weapons are.
Wait, no. You're confusing this, Exo. He's not asking about random rolls. He's asking if you can get a weapon, do something to it to get a different perk. You can't, that we know of.
Oh, well then why does it say non-rerollable? In what scenario would you be able to re-roll that?
Where does it say non-rerollable anyway?
In
Giggs' tweet.
Yeah, Giggs' tweet, yeah.
Yeah, you can't re-roll anything, as far as we know.
So,
yeah, he's calling rollable when he should be saying RNG. Yeah, I think that it's just bad wording.
Oh, it's a perk that's always on that weapon.
Right. No, it drops randomly, Huffy. You just can't change it after it drops. That's all.
Well, how would you be able to change it other than re-rolling it is what I'm asking.
He is specifying that it is a randomly rolled weapon. That's all. That's all he's trying to say. It's not a set perk. You just can't re-roll it. You have to get a new weapon if you want a different perk on it.
Hey, you got to get a new armor too.
Dude, I wish you could see the fucking dead ass hamster in my head right now, just like dead on the wheel, swinging back and forth. Excuse my language, but I am.
All right, so the next thing I wanted to bring this up because we talked about this last week. Masterwork exotic armor. You remember we said like what happened to that? It was supposed to be in a summer update. Well, they asked Masterwork exotic armor ? And then Bungie said it's not coming in Forsaken. So it was coming in the summer. Now it's not coming in Forsaken. What happened? Like, is this like such a big undertaking? Like you just couldn't finish this in time? I don't know if they have like huge plans for it to be like bigger than the catalyst system for weapons. Like what?
Maybe they're just gonna make exotic armor better.
I have an answer on that armor thing, so that'll help you understand it. Giggs' tweet actually says legendary armors will drop with a random bonus stat that isn't rerollable, but can be upgraded. So he's referring to the Masterwork system and how the Masterwork system will work. Because right now with the Masterwork system, you can reroll it from survival to heavy to whatever.
That's why he's specifying that.
He's specifying it that you can't reroll that random bonus
like
stat.
You can right now.
If it's survival, like good for you, but if it's not survival, like poo poo, okay, you got to go find something else.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, I was dead. I was no longer in the podcast.
Welcome back.
All right, I feel good to be alive now.
So no Masterwork exotic armor. I don't really know why, but whatever. I think they should rework the whole super resistance for regular masterworked armor, and make that a little more interesting too.
Like, so we have masterwork armor, but all of it's gonna go away. There's no point to it anymore. Then, so what do we have? So I guess what they're saying is that they want the armor level through kills or through progress or whatever it is to be the major reason to play the game. Is there a visual change when we receive a level 10 or no?
I hope so.
Probably not, but that'd be nice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe a little sparkle.
Yeah.
I'd like for every time I masterwork something, I'd like it to just like crap rainbows.
So
I'd like to be able to run around and rainbows fly out my back.
So probably
Please never do that sound effect again.
It's like a firework, right?
Probably due to like the random rolls and how much gear we're going to be going through and loot and stuff. They've changed the infusion system a little bit to make it a little more forgiving, where you don't need like a shotgun to infuse a shotgun. It just has to be in the same slot and you can use it, which
does that mean
good.
that I can?
Yeah.
I want to be able to infuse a hunter helmet into
I want to be
helmet.
able to do that too, so I don't have to level up other characters, but
Yeah, you should be able to do that. It'll just cost you more.
I don't know.
Don't care
They
as long
didn't
as I
mention
can
it,
do it.
so I don't know. I hope so.
I would like that.
Yeah.
That's an assumption that we can assume and say we'd like that to be the case.
It used to be
Yeah.
the case in Destiny 1.
I think even if it's not the case at launch, it probably will be, a couple of weeks after, because hey, you said
Yeah.
infusion will be slot based, not weapon based. So why are we having
because
to?
it takes over a year to get back to Destiny 1, so
Yeah. I mean, please. I thought it was so crappy when they came out and like didn't tell us that leveling 3 of the same class was not good, and then they like made it to where you can't infuse a hunter
Yeah.
helmet and the warlock thing. It's
Yeah.
just so shady.
Yeah, it's actually kind of weird because it's like they tried to make Destiny 2 less grindy, and then they're like, but you're not taking any shortcuts with these other characters. You're like,
Yeah,
what the
right?
heck?
It's insane. Pretty insane.
So armor is going to be a little more interesting now. It now has 2 perks, one that modifies abilities and one that modifies ammo economy. So the way that they described it was like, basically like Destiny 1, you'll get one with like grenade throw distance and then one with like, more ammo for a scout rifle or something.
Yeah, Giggs must have sat into this interview and like was just tweeting this stuff out.
I wonder if it's just like his NDA is up and so he has information from the summit still, or I don't know, unless
no, because like
probably.
that specific example that was given, like he said perk that changes how you throw your grenade and cooldown.
Yeah. So that's cool. That'll be better armor than we have now, because right now it's like
It does nothing.
yeah.
Well, I like how one of the modifiers has to specifically affect your abilities in some way, and another one of them has to specifically how it affects the ammo economy for your weapons. I actually like that.
Yeah.
It forces them to think of things that like, how could we affect the ammo economy, and like, could we pair it with this one that makes random rolls interesting
So
and not stupid.
Booyah brought up a point. He says, I liked the change that you can't infuse into your other characters because it makes you have to actually play them to level them. I would just push back against that, Booyah, and say it's made me not play them at all. Like I used to play all 3 characters because I could infuse them up and then do end game activities with them. But now I'm just like, screw my Titan and Warlock. I'm not playing them ever.
Yeah.
The question is, and I don't want to get too out there with this, but the question for the developer of any game comes to when you have multiple versions of like 3 characters that you could play. At what point do you decide that I've done enough with this to allow me to quickly level up a character?
Right.
And with Destiny 2, we don't want, like, it's character specific.
The weapons help, but that's it.
In most games, it's account based.
Yeah.
Like in most games, it's like, hey, have you done it? Great. You're gonna have a much easier time leveling.
Right,
up.
and that's how it should be, I think.
Yeah.
I'm like a hardcore elitist, honestly. Like I'm somebody who wants grind in the game, but pointlessly forcing somebody to slog through like things they've already done on a second character.
On a class that we don't like as much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What would be the
I mean,
point?
I don't
of
know. I've
deleting-
always had 3 hunters, so it doesn't really bother me.
I'm foreseeing Reese saying this in chat before he says it. But then, what would be the point of deleting your what would be the point of deleting your class?
What?
If you could just avoid doing all that stuff, what would be the point of playing the class? Like deleting
I
the
mean,
class.
if you don't want to, then you shouldn't have to.
Wait, what do you mean deleting the class? Why would you delete
Yeah,
the
like
class?
if you deleted your Titan or you deleted your Hunter
Yeah, but why would you want to do that?
to punish yourself. I don't know.
Oh, I don't care. The people who do that, like, that's on them. You know, they can
Yeah,
figure that out.
Listen, the things that you do in the privacy
Right.
of your own bedroom,
Yeah.
I don't got a problem with it. You know, you just keep it there.
Yeah.
You just don't put it on Twitch. Nobody
Yeah.
wants you to see you do that again.
Deleting it on Twitch, like Harding deleted his.
Yeah, that's
alternate
for
characters.
charity though. That's fine. I don't,
Right.
you know, I mean, but I don't think that
Yeah,
they
yeah,
should
but
like
they
tailor
wouldn't
the
want to
game.
watch-
They shouldn't tailor the game around that though. You know,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's
Harding
true.
deleted his 3 characters, but I also love you, Harding.
Yeah.
Don't want to watch him stream doing the story again
Yeah.
on new characters. Like the things that you do in the privacy.
It's
of your
true.
own
Yeah,
bedroom,
it's true.
you can
It's
keep
true.
them there.
It's a lot less interesting the second time, and it's. a
I
heck of
already
a
had to
lot-
do it 6 times because when PC came out. So.
Dude,
9
the-
times, 8 times, 10
To
times.
the people who streamed themselves doing the story 6 times, screw off. And to the people who streamed themselves doing the story 9 times, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No one likes you that much.
Eh.
No one likes that.
I mean, like, if you're somebody who streams full time and you just never play offline, like, what other choice do you have? You know, if
dude, you
You're gonna
put
be
some
behind,
hours in
though.
the morning. I'm not.
Oh my
Listen,
God.
first of all, if you decided at the start of Destiny 2 to like knowing what we knew at the start of
I
Destiny,
feel like
2,
you're making a
having
big
played
deal
the
about
game,
this. Like, people
if
play
you-
like Go Fish on Twitch and people watch it. You
Dude.
know, like it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
but Go Fish is far more interesting
Oh my
than
God.
the Destiny 2 campaign. If in the state that Destiny 2 was in, you thought that you would need 3 max-like characters on 3 different platforms.
Yeah.
You need to think about yourself.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
to check yourself.
So another thing is you're going to be
Check
able to
yourself.
use Gunsmith, Crucible, and Vanguard tokens and materials for year 2 gear, which means I'm going to have everything like right away. I've got 5,000 Crucible tokens. I've got like 15,000 Gunsmith materials. So I look
I gotta
forward to all
break
those random
everything.
rolls.
So here's the thing that I wonder, which economy should I keep my gunsmith materials, or should I go ahead and turn those in and try to get as many mod components as possible?
No, you can get.
I
mod
have a lot of
components from
mods because your
Just-
old
just-
mods are going to turn into
Just-
components.
Just spend.
Oh, they're just gonna turn into components.
Yeah.
I thought I had to dismantle them.
You might have to like exchange them or something, but they said they're going to be turned.
Yeah, they're going to turn into components
Yeah.
for new mods. So
I
basically,
don't have to turn them into components now.
Right.
no.
Oh,
No.
they'll just do it automatically.
Yeah.
That's not.
No, so what you should do with
hoard
that
them.
is you should keep your gunsmith, crucible, and vanguard tokens.
Yep.
And then you should spend your glimmer to get the mods,
Yep.
as many mods as you
Okay.
can.
All right, I got you. But keep as many gunsmith materials as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
That's going to be a pain to turn all that stuff in.
You know what else is a pain?
What?
Turning all that stuff in.
Yeah.
Dude, tokens need to just go away.
I know.
I don't want them.
Doesn't seem like they're going anywhere though.
They're not, man.
So the next thing is somebody asked, any plans to add an in-game LFG? And they said, nope. Literally, that was their answer. So
Wow.
yeah. Also, I mean, I'm going to just group that in with number 9, which is they didn't change guided games at all either. They said any changes to guided games, and they said nope, keeping it the way it is. I don't know.
I don't think they have to because nobody uses it. So you might as well just leave
No, you might as well change it and make it so people
I feel
can use
bad
it.
for the people who sit in that guided games.
Yeah.
They're sitting in there for 20 to 50 minutes.
If you're a new player and you
doing
see the
nothing.
icon, you're probably like, "Oh, this seems pretty cool. I could get somebody to help me out."
I don't know, man. I don't think that any sane person jumps in there for more than 10 minutes and then is like, I'm gonna keep sitting there.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just a bad thing for the game, dude. I really think that
a lot of people do it. But
at least
it's
take
like,
it out.
Yeah, just take it out. Just take it out and make your app more robust. Everybody has a phone. Just make your LFG app more robust.
I'm not going to pretend like that's a good solution, but it's something.
It's it's better than guys.
Is right. If you do go in as a guide, like you have a full team and you go in as a guide, then yeah, you do find people instantly, which means people are using it.
Well, that's sad.
But the problem is like they have to do what exactly? They have to
wait for 45 minutes in orbit.
Do nothing.
Yeah, it's a bad system. We've talked about it a million times. I can't believe that they're not doing anything to change it. That's my only point. You know, that's kind of crazy to me. I know they had a lot to work on, but
2020, man.
Yeah.
It's on the docket.
2020, we're getting in-game LFG.
It's on the roadmap. Eventually, we'll get it.
Queue up as tank, DPS, or healer. I mean, queue up as.
So they're not doing the class specific weapons again, like they did in Taken King. Unfortunately, they confirmed that. I kind of liked those. I wish they went a step further than the Taken King. I wish they had class specific epic weapons, like a real MMO. Like I've talked about this a couple times, but I think if they had like one long quest line for each of the 3 classes, where you could get like something really good for PvE that was like synergistic with your class, and it took like a few months to finish, that'd be really awesome. And you saw somebody with it, you're like, oh damn, he's got his epic weapon. That's awesome. You know? But
maybe like you get like double damage for a short time after a dodge, or like healing rift said, I don't know, something like something. Yeah, it would be awesome.
Yeah, like it added like another exotic perk on top of it, like that was synergistic. That'd be awesome. But that's like an idea for the future. I don't know if they're ever going to get to that level of MMO, but it'd be awesome.
I want level 25 capes. I want level 25
factions. Yeah, those were cool. The fact they got to revamp factions for a 3rd time, so.
They didn't revamp it in the first time.
This is a part I'm really excited about, because there's been little info about this, but they've mentioned it a few times, so I'm hoping that there's some depth to this system. But so if you collect a full armor set, it gets you something called a badge, apparently. Badges earn you triumphs, which is confusing, not to be confused with the year 1 triumphs. Those are completely different. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then triumphs give you a chance at a title, and I'm hoping.
So walk me through this. I just earned my last piece of armor set that I now have a set. What do I get?
You get a badge.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Well, what does this badge do for me?
The badges earn you triumphs.
Oh, I got a triumph. What?
Yeah.
Well,
how many triumphs do I need? I mean, how many badges do I need for a triumph?
I don't know.
All right. What is a triumph?
Well, right now it's it's something that gives you points towards a T-shirt. But what I'm excited about though is title.
Like, you want to spend $30 on a T-shirt?
Yeah. Instead of 7,000.
I would rather spend 7,000 and not do the.
So I want to say though, like I think it would be really cool if you saw like a title over somebody's head and maybe like the badge next to the title, and you're like, "Yo, that guy's like a commander, or that guy's like a general."
Is that gonna happen?
They're talking about armor sets.
They're talking about titles. Like that's what I think that like that's what they mean by titles. You know, that's what it is in every game I've ever played. That's what a title is.
I mean, yeah, but like Bungie is not. As you can tell by Triumph, Bungie is not very good with
I know, but what else would a title be? Can you speculate that there would be anything else?
I mean, listen, it's going to be confusing, like, if you, like, I don't know, like, Brigadier Rectum. Like, I don't know.
Knight Captain.
I think it'd be cool.
I don't really want that, to be honest, because what always happens is you end up with something like WoW where you're running around and you have these just huge nameplates because the system has to escalate, and you end up with like Rectum blessed wielder of the Sun Singers or whatever, and you're like,
Yeah,
why?
yeah,
No.
Yeah.
Like it never just, it always escalates. It never stays at like Ninja Recked or Captain Rectum. It's like Rectum, color
There
of
was
the Horde.
there was
And
one
I
in
don't
World
want
of
nameplate.
Warcraft. There was one in World of Warcraft that I unlocked for one of the quests for to help Chromie like fix the time, and it ended up being Time Lord is the thing. One of my characters' name is Time Lord, so it's Time Lord.
I personally like the idea of titles because I want something to signify achievement, like that is easily identifiable, where you see somebody and you say, oh, this guy's actually done a lot, instead of looking around and saying, all these Guardians look the same to me. That's like what I've always wanted for Destiny.
But do
Would
you
you
really
like the
want to run
nameplates
around
in the 25 to be different, or
Wait, what?
like instead of saying the 25 or 30 or whatever it is that says, because we know that you're max level by that point.
Right, yeah, because those, yeah, you can take that away. Put a badge or something where that is, you know?
Whatever badge you want to display.
Right. Exactly.
I just think that it is an incredibly less immersive experience to walk around any kind of social space and like the premier part of that social space just be like floating blocks of text.
The other thing though, Rec, to your point though about the badges, like being able to change it. Like, do you guys remember in Halo when you made your tag or whatever it was?
Great.
And you could see somebody on the map and you knew, not by looking at their name, but by looking at the badge, what you saw, and you're like, oh, that's that teammate.
So I'm not necessarily saying it has to be like over somebody's head. Like if you saw it on their nameplate, like in queue, even like that would be good. You know, like
oh yeah, in queue that'd be sick.
Because just right now there's so much irrelevant stuff. Like I don't really need to see people's light level. I don't really need to see people's level. Like all that stuff sucks.
I don't really care about their nightfall score, to be honest.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
we're gonna go that far, why can't I see your super energy? Why can't I see your grenade and your like if we're just gonna go over the top and just overdo it, like let's give me all the information.
So I just wanted a way to notate like player accomplishment in a public way, and like where people will see, like I'm hoping some of these are like really like hard things to achieve, so when you see some of them you're like, holy crap, somebody actually got that, that's incredible, instead of just like, here's another guy who completed a nightfall, congratulations, you know. So
yeah, I agree.
He did it above the threshold. Look at him.
So this news broke right after we ended the podcast last week, but apparently, guys, mass shader deletion is only going to be 5 at a time. I was a lot angrier about this last week. Now I just don't care anymore. I'm just not going to delete shaders. I guess my vault is just a shader vault from this point
especially
forward.
not going to go to the Cryptarch, because the only time I was ever deleting shaders was when I was in orbit, like waiting on a PvP match that takes way too long to queue into. But that was the only time I was deleting shaders, and I don't do it on stream because I think it's super distasteful to stream deleting shaders.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna keep them.
Yeah, I'm just throwing them in the vault. We have 500 spots now. I'm just gonna throw the ones in the vault and not worry about deleting them, honestly, because 5 at a time. I'm
not worried. I'm not worried about 5 at a time.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna buy some more that I have dismantled, you know, because like I want more of like the Trials of the Nine shader, for example. So
like some people are saying like, well, maybe you don't have to hold, you can click. I mean, that would be better, but still I don't want to sit there like you know, like no.
I'll never do that again. All right, we're good.
One more time.
No, I'm good now.
Okay.
All DC, I swear.
The other thing is, every question that people asked that had to do with the annual pass, they just deferred. So I would recommend, I mean, personally, I'm going to buy it because everything I do and stream content-wise is related to Destiny, so there's really no sense in me not buying it. But if you are just, like, trying to be a smart consumer, we know nothing about this annual pass. I can't recommend to people that they buy it. It's a little strange to me that they're marketing it. saying it's $30 and then being like, we're not going to tell you anything about it really. So I would just hold off. There's really no benefit to getting it ahead of time. So it's up to you guys, but I would say if you're at all on the fence, just buy Forsaken. Don't worry about the annual pass for now.
Well, the sad thing is like that's kind of like the recommendation we have to make, right?
Yeah.
Like they could be very, very vocal about what we're going to be getting, what it is, like why they had to change the pass system that they had before for 4 years to an annual pass to what they have now.
Well, one thing that's super confusing is like if you look, they including the tooltips for it, they're like, oh, Crucible maps. I'm like, Crucible maps are free now. Like unless you want it in a private match, like you can't really say that is content that I'm paying for at this point, you know?
Well, you're paying for it, but other people who aren't paying for it are getting the benefits.
Right. Yeah. But so it's like a hard sell to be like, we're not going to tell you anything about this. But
there's nothing what we can say.
There's Crucible
they didn't even
maps
say like
that you'll get anyway.
I mean, they did say that there would be new raid layers, but they didn't say how many new raid layers. They didn't say like what types of changes. Like it could still be 2 new raid layers, but three major releases. All we know are the names of the 3 major releases.
Yo, it could be 3 raids.
There's Crucible maps, guys, that we took out of the base expansion because there was 9 in the Taken King, and now there's only 3. So,
dude, I can't believe there's only 2 for us, but
no, there's 3. There's a 4th
3,
one.
There's 4th for.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Still, it's not 9.
It's not 9. I mean, we technically get 4 because we get that crappy PS4 map.
Yeah, from last year. Yeah.
Yeah, the drill one.
Wait, isn't there 2?
There's 2, yeah.
Oh, there's 2. There's 2. Yo, the one I really want, the one from the what's the name of it? I always forget the game.
You're talking about the Titan Arcology.
The Arcology.
Yeah.
Coolest place in the game. There's like big floaty lights and stuff.
I'm not excited about Titan because it tanks my frame rate. So. Yeah.
It's not going to be raining though, because it's going to be inside the Arcology.
Yeah, but it's always the water, man. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's no water on this Titan map. It's inside.
Oh, that's true.
Nothing but
they had to make it on console, so it's not going to be. You know.
Yeah, they made it on console. It's got glowy lights and stuff.
I'm just saying, Pacifica always makes my frame rate do weird things, and I don't like it.
I don't know because I play with VSync and it makes me sad.
Wait, why do you play with VSync? You just cap your frame rate to 60. Please do that.
It just looks better with I get you
get input texture. Delay with VSync though.
I don't feel it.
Yeah, because you've like adjusted to it. It would be so much better without it.
You played on console forever.
Yeah, you should try. You could get like a lot better PvP performance without that.
Listen, I doubt that me turning on VSync is gonna.
No, it really does, dude. This is a big
10 kills plus.
Oh my god.
No, this is a big thing people talk about though. VSync is horrible. You should never use VSync. Seriously.
So I just cap it at 60.
Yep.
In NVIDIA or just
in the game? In the game.
In the game.
And not in NVIDIA.
Right.
I have VSync off on mine.
What you can do is you can turn G-Sync on for like frame drops, but that's only if you have a G-Sync monitor.
If you have a G-Sync monitor, yeah.
All right.
So that's all I have for this week, guys, unless you have anything else.
I don't have anything else.
Nope.
All right.
I don't have anything.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, the same things. You know, we're looking for guests. I want to try and do some interesting stuff leading up to Forsaken and after Forsaken. It'd be cool to have some people on to discuss the changes, especially after the expansion drops.
For sure.
But you just leave the suggestions in my Discord, and I will get to them. But for now, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace, y'all.